The Indian national team is so bad, it makes the world of football cry, and wonder how such a great nation is so lacking behind in development of the sport. What are the reasons for the constant disappointment, and how good has India developed in the last years? How is it possible that neither the next Messi or the next Ronaldo has emerged from a country with more than 1.4 billion inhabitants? Since a long time, being called the sleeping giants of football, you could have thought that their recently better performance would wake the giants up. But this year's Asian Cup just showed that the nation is still dreaming. After a good campaign in the 2019 Asia Cup, where they just missed out the second place in the group by 1 point, they were also able to demolish Thailand with 4-1. In 2023, they also had a good run. The Blue Tigers stayed 13 games undefeated until September and are now almost in the top 100 of the FIFA World Ranking. They also won the SAF Cup whilst physically dominating their opponents. So the team was looking forward for this year's tournament, with being in a good form. But then it went downhill. First, there were a problem with the Indians' participation at the tournament, and then the coach had to fight to get his players. The Indian Football League was not ready to postpone any fixtures, and the respective clubs didn't release their players. You won't find this any special now, but many don't know how good India was back in the days. From 1956 to 1962, they were called the Brazil of Asia. They had their own football identity and played skillful short-passing football with a lot of dribbling and body swerves. At the time, they got 4th at the Summer Olympics in 1956, runners-up in the 1964 Asia Cup, and won even gold at the Asian Games 1951 and 1962. But since then, the development has been declining. The view of football changed. Every big national team had to change their idea of football after failure. Spain crashed out of the 1998 World Cup group stage after a 3-2 loss against Nigeria. 10 years later, they won 3 consecutive big trophies. After a disappointing first round out at the Euros 2004, Germany changed their style from an organizing build-up from the back to a more dynamic approach. A decade later, they won the World Cup. But India got stuck in the past. They didn't really change anything, and disappointed until it was too late. The rise of cricket didn't help either. After being a gentleman's game for long, it spread out to regions where football was not so widespread. Cricket was promoted by the wealthy society, and then the popularity of it boomed with the Indian win the 1983 Cricket World Cup. The sport attracted even more people, and cricket achieved the goal of filling the crowd with hope and joy. At this point, we want to thank you for watching this video so far. We put a lot of work in it, so if you enjoyed it, like it and subscribe to the channel. That Indian football hasn't blossomed again since then has more reasons than just cricket. On the other hand, you have to keep in mind football is still played and watched across India. But in this term, the country is divided. Only a few states love football. Among them are Kerala, Goa, West Bengal and the Northeast. But especially in Central India and South India, they are more into cricket. While European football is popular to watch in these regions, they neglect the football in their own country. And that mainly because there is a huge quality gap. But with the foundation of the ESL, football in India is rising. The goal has to be expand football from the regions to the whole of India. Then afterwards, it is possible to build a good infrastructure in every region of India. The lack of infrastructure is one of the big reasons why Indian talents can't develop right. There are often no proper stadiums or training grounds. Football fields in villages are often of a very poor quality, leading to injuries and therefore a loss of talents. Also, most stadiums are multi-purpose stadiums and are therefore used for other events. They don't belong to the football clubs but to the government. Because they are used for public events and aren't cared about enough, they are often in a bad shape, leading to abroad training sessions even for the senior national team. But there are even more reasons. While India should focus on building something up for the future, but many sponsors, investors and even fans are not patient enough and are dreaming of the World Cup. India should firstly focus on the youth development. The lack of it has been holding India back now for a long time. Even though the AIFF is trying with building up regional academies, you can see how slow the progress is in comparison with other Asian countries. With Sunil Chhetri, the Indian all-time top scorer, there's only emerged one player who is a little known in Europe. Also, the Indian football clubs have to be blamed. Many of them didn't have a youth academy for a long time, and there is still a lack of youth team tournaments. Also a big problem is the age fraud, which can cause problems, especially in tournaments. Also, while often not owning their own stadiums, India clubs are often too bad. For the 2024-25 AFC Champions League, there won't be even one Indian team to participate. The AFC has removed their slot due to other Asian countries performing better and India's low coefficient ranking. How should Indian players and clubs improve if they can't even take part in the most competitive tournament of the continent? The league ISL is not better. Only 22 rounds are played in the regular season, and so most of the players can't even play football for the whole year. Many players don't see football as their serious profession. They play for fun and passion, and on the contrary to European or South American countries, the people don't see it as a way out of poverty. Football in India is only slowly improving with the beginning of 2023. There was a hope that it would be a revolutionary year. There were new people taking over in the federation and they brought plans for the future. The Indians know that they have to plan for 1 to 2 decades and focus on their youth. There were plans for a new roadmap and they planned for the next 25 years in advance. And even the Asia Cup spot could be secured in 18 months before start. So everyone had enough time to prepare. But the hope rapidly disappeared. There were many controversies and the General Secretary was already gone after 1 year. They didn't even figure out how to make plans for events a few months away, and so many fans doubted that they are able to plan for the next 25 years. As today it looks like the Asian Cup journey is going to end as fast as possible, and so Indian football has to question themselves once again, leaving their fans in despair. So guys, thanks for watching. If you have other video ideas or subjects you would like to hear more about it, let us know in the comments. See you.